Can't hear you. Ooh, yeah, keep it up.
Ooh, where's Rod Johnson?
Anybody seen him? Hey! Hey!
There's Rod Johnson.
Are these guys the greatest or what? Scott Mullin and the Princess K Band. You guys are great. Love you guys. Oh, what a crowd, I tell you what. It is so great to be back here again to serve as your MC. I love coming up here to do the Princess K of the Milky Way coronation. And, years ago, I used to work in farm broadcasting, and I used to come up and cover this event for the media, and I always enjoyed that. And for all the media here tonight, thank you for being here. We appreciate the coverage. Right now, I'm from Cannon Falls, Minnesota, and we got a little auction company there, Johnson Auctioneering. We do fundraising auctions for nonprofits like schools and churches and American Cancer Society, St. Jude Children's Hospital, something I really enjoy. And, just over a year ago, I decided to step down as the voice of the Minnesota Timberwolves so I could spend more time with family and with the auction business, and that's turned out to be pretty good. So, you know what? We got 12 candidates backstage. Oh, they're outstanding. We just come from the banquet. Now, they can't see you, but wow, what a crowd. But you know what? They can hear you. So I think we should let them know that we're here. So how about this? On the count of 3, I want you to make as much noise as you can so they know that you're here and ready to go. So are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, I like it. You are ready to go. I tell you what, we cannot forget about 2 special folks. How about a big thanks to Fairchild and Fairborn? They've been out here all night entertaining us this evening. And you know what? We really appreciate them acting as escorts for our Princess K every day at the State Fair Parade. So thanks, Fairchild and Fairborn. Appreciate it. At this time, I would ask that you'd please rise and remove your hats in honor of all servicemen and women serving our country here and abroad. And now to perform our national anthem, please welcome Kenzie Barth.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Kenzie Barth and our national anthem. Thank you so much. Great job, Kenzie. Great job. And now would you please turn your attention to the screen for a special video presentation.
For me, the best part of my day as a dairy farmer is the beginning. No day on a dairy farm is the same, but it goes a little bit like this. Wake up at the crack of dawn, milk the cows, feed all the animals, make sure everything has a fresh layer of bedding, then milk again, clean up everything, and the next day repeat it all again. It may seem like a lot, but we do it because we love it.
comfort and well-being of our cows is always my number one priority.
It is also a priority to provide the best living conditions for our animals. Dairy farmers are committed to getting calves off to a healthy start. After all, they are the future of our dairy farms.
So really, really enjoy getting to work with baby calves because they're basically the cutest things ever.
The best part of my day as a dairy farmer is seeing the attitude of the calves.
The thing I love most about working with calves is that you get to be with them from their first steps to the first time they make friends and the first time they drink from a pail to the first time they have a calf. And so as you go along this journey with them, you build a relationship with the calf and you really grow to love them.
I love being involved in the dairy community because it is constantly changing with new technology to help farmers better take care of their animals.
One of the coolest aspects of dairy farming to me is the integrated use of technologies, which is helping us take a step into the future. Oftentimes, we think about utilizing technology in our classrooms or in businesses, but it is really incredible the way that we can utilize technology on our dairy farms. Right now, we are able to take better care of our animals while producing higher quality milk using less land, water, and resources than ever before.
And that's what it's all about. It's about responsibly producing food while taking the best care of our animals and the land we live on.
For generations, the people who have brought fresh, delicious milk and other dairy foods to America's tables are also stewards of the land and contribute to local communities and family businesses. One of my favorite things is spreading dairy goodness to my local community. Whether you live in rural America or the big city, dairy travels less than 100 miles from our farm to your fridge. Dairy is fresh and local 365 days a year from farm families like mine.
I love that being part of the dairy community has given me another family.
The best part of my day is being able to work alongside my family while creating relationships with our animals.
I really enjoy getting to work with people that have become like a second family to me.
Despite living in the land of plenty, hunger exists in nearly every county and congressional district in America. Dairy foods provide us with a practical solution to the food insecurities in our communities.
Dairy farmers are dedicated to providing people with real, fresh, and natural, nutrient-rich foods and beverages from childhood to adulthood.
Every glass of milk, every string of cheese you pull off of that little piece of string cheese, every last bit of it is clean and safe for each and every one of our consumers.
Dairy delivers a powerhouse of nutrition in an affordable, appealing, and readily available way.
It's really our mission to create healthy people, healthy families, healthy communities, and a healthy planet.
Farmers really do care for their animals on a daily basis, and on my farm, we like to take extra care to make sure everyone is well cared for, because all of the animals on our farm are truly a family to us, and we want to make sure they get the best care possible.
My family and I are proud of what we do each and every day, taking care of the land and the animals while providing a delicious dairy food that our local community can enjoy.
You know, looking back at it, dairy has been there for all the special moments in my life.
Dairy is just so many things. It is the milk in your cereal, the cheese on your pizza, or a milkshake to celebrate an accomplishment.
Whether at a birthday party, a wedding, or any other special occasion, dairy has always been there and always will be.
We are Princess K of the Milky Way finalists.
We are also Minnesota dairy farmers and supporters.
We are responsibly producing,
locally driven,
nutrient-rich, tasty dairy foods.
We are committed,
dedicated, hardworking dairy farmers.
We are undeniably real.
We are undeniably dairy.
How about that? What a wonderful group of finalists we have here this evening. Fantastic. I would like to take just a minute or two to recognize and say thank you to those people who support the Princess K of the Milky Way program. These are people from all across the state of Minnesota who really make this program happen. So would you please stand up and be acknowledged as I introduce you? Midwest Dairy Minnesota Division Board members, would you please stand? Midwest Dairy CEO Lucas Lynch. The Midwest Dairy Princess Committee, please stand. We have a number of past Princess K's. Please stand. Yes, indeed. We want to thank the Dairy Star for assembling our program each year. And AMPI for New Ulm, you know them, as the creamery that donates over 1,000 pounds of butter each year for our butter sculptures. And how about it for Scott Bollin and the Princess K Band? Yeah. And the parents of our finalists. Would you stand? Give them a round of applause. Let's hear it for all the folks who help make this event happen each and every year. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the person I'm about to introduce has had quite a year in representing the dairy farmers and dairy industry of Minnesota. She has clocked over 6,000 miles traveling the state of Minnesota, doing classroom visits, parades, dairy days on the farm, community events, rubbing elbows with football players and fans during the Super Bowl. Those are only some of the ways that she has represented the dairy community. So would you at this time please help me in welcoming the reigning 64th Princess K of the Milky Way, Miss Emily Annexted. Wow. Emily, I know it's had to have been a really busy year for you representing this great industry. And I would imagine it's a little different feeling being on stage this year than it was last year.
It seems like it was just yesterday that I was backstage with the finalists, but it's definitely a bittersweet moment. I've enjoyed my year as Princess K so much, but I'm also so excited for the next girl who gets to experience the awesome journey that is Princess K.
You've done a great job, and man, I can't believe it. 6,000 miles in the past year promoting the dairy industry. You know, what type of events were you involved in, and where did your travels take you?
My travels took me everywhere from Duluth to Winona and Crookston to Laverne, but along the way, I talked to many kids during their classroom visits. I did everything from nursing home visits to breakfast on the farms, dairy days, county fairs, breakfast on the farm, presentations, you name it, I was probably there.
The Super Bowl.
Yes, the Super Bowl experience was amazing and such a cool time to be Princess K.
And is that one of the things I would imagine that would stand out from this past year? Is there any one thing that kind of stands out?
Absolutely. The Super Bowl experience most definitely does. But another thing that stands out to me is the people who I had the opportunity to represent. Each event was different, but at each event, I always remember that I was representing Minnesota's dairy community, and that's really special to me.
And you did a great job of doing that. Now, after tonight, you're going to probably have a little more time on your hands. You know, what is next for Emily Annexted?
In just a couple weeks, I will be starting my junior year at the University of Minnesota, where I'm studying animal science and agricultural communications and marketing. But no matter where life takes me, I will always continue to share my love for Minnesota's dairy community.
Thank you for this past year. Ladies and gentlemen, she has done an outstanding job this past year. Let's hear it again for Emily Annexted. All right. I think we've waited long enough. Are you ready to meet the 12 candidates for Princess K of the Milky Way? I said, are you ready? Yeah. Let's meet these 12 outstanding young ladies from Chaska and representing Carver County. Our first contestant will start her junior year at Winona State University this fall, where she is studying cell and molecular biology. She hopes to become a dentist after graduation from dental school. Her hobbies include being outdoors, where she hikes, canoes, kayaks, and spends time with friends. She's employed by Teller's Dairy, the daughter of Dan and Kathy. Would you please welcome Amy Broll. Hello, Amy. Hey, I want to know, can you maybe describe what, the past few days have been like for you being up here?
It has been really exciting. It's been just an array of emotions, getting to know the other finalists, and I know that no matter what happens tonight, each of us is going to go back to our local communities and continue to advocate for what we love, and that is the dairy community.
That is great. Now, I'm curious, too, how did you become interested in the dental profession?
Well, I've always liked teeth. One of the first things I notice about people is their smile. And growing up learning about dairy nutrition and how it affects our teeth and bones, I figured with my dairy background and my love for teeth, I would make a great dentist.
I think you will make a great dentist. Now looking, do you believe that, working in the dairy industry, has that better prepared you for the future, do you think?
It definitely has. Growing up in the dairy community, we learn a lot of lifelong skills that I will take with me in the future.
All right. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Broll. Next up is our representative from Wabasha County, from Plainview. She's an employee of Scotch Prairie Farms. She's going to be a sophomore this fall at the University of Wisconsin River Falls, where she studies agriculture business and dairy science. She's active in her campus dairy club and enjoys coaching volleyball, fishing, kayaking, writing, showing, and judging dairy cattle. The daughter of Travis and Annette Reimers, would you please welcome Blaze Dankers. Blaze, here we are. Did you ever dream as a young girl that you'd be on this stage in the Princess K coronation?
Yeah, I've been showing at the State Fair for a lot of years, and I remember as a little girl I would sit out in the audience and always look up at all the princesses wearing their dress, and it doesn't feel real that I'm on here myself, so...
But here you are. Now, tell us a little bit about the farm where you are employed, Scotch Prairie Farms.
So I'm going on my third year working for Scotch Prairie. I work in calf management, so I do stuff with bedding, feeding, vaccinating, and just overall taking care of the calves. It's basically become my second home, and I truly love it there.
Great. Now, you're going to be a sophomore this year at the University of Wisconsin River Falls. Now, when you head back to college, do you kind of miss the farm?
Yeah, I do miss the farm. When I first went to college, it was kind of an adjustment for me, but I am in an agriculture major, so it's nice to be around people who share the same passions and interests that I do.
All right. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Blaze Dankers. And now we have the representative from Meeker County. She will be a sophomore at the University of Minnesota this fall, studying agricultural communication and marketing. She works at the Getkey family farm as well as RL Acres. Her hobbies include baking, showing dairy cattle, speaking Spanish, and spending time with family. From Richmond, and the daughter of Scott and Denise, would you please welcome Catherine Getkey. Catherine, you got some fans here. Yeah. I'm interested in your studies, agricultural communication and marketing. So what would you really like to do with that after college?
My goal is to work for an agriculture cooperative or checkoff organization where I am able to promote the great dairy foods and dairy farmers because I have loved working with dairy farmers all my life, and I can't wait to do that in my career.
All right. Now, there are all kinds of wonderful dairy products. Is there one that is your absolute favorite?
My favorite way to spend an evening with the family is by popping a big batch of popcorn and sprinkling Parmesan cheese over the top. It makes it 10 times better.
You're making me hungry. That sounds really good. Now, you say you enjoy speaking Spanish. I would imagine this is something that's maybe come in handy for you over the years?
Yes, it definitely has, and I can't wait to see where it will take me. I plan to study abroad in the future and really become more immersed in the language because it is so unique, and I can't wait to see what kind of opportunities it will open up for me.
All right. Now, one more thing. Somebody at the banquet come up to me and said it was somebody's birthday today. Is it your birthday?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, happy birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, Catherine Getkey. Well, our next finalist comes from Waconia and represents Carver County. Now, she's going to be a senior this fall at Minnesota State University, Moorhead, with a major in English and mass communications. She loves to travel, read, write, work with animals, and make new memories. The daughter of Joel and Barb, here is Laura Graham. Laura, I see you enjoy traveling, so I got to ask you, what is the most impressive place that you've ever traveled to?
I really loved Switzerland. I got to go up into the Swiss Alps, and it was like an ocean of clouds. And it didn't hurt that while I was there, I basically lived off cheese. So it was pretty great.
That sounds like a great trip. It really does. I'm curious now, in dealing with the public and, those not familiar with the dairy industry or farming, what is the most common or maybe the most unusual question that has come up concerning the dairy industry?
I really like events that involve kids. And so every time I go to a library or a day at the fair, a kid will ask me if brown cows produce chocolate milk. So every time I tell them, no, every breed of cow, whether black, red, or brown, all produces the same nutritious white milk.
There you go. Now, I see you're studying English and mass communication, so what are you looking at in the future?
Because of my experiences as a dairy princess and a dairy farmer, I would love to represent the dairy community and go into agricultural communications. And I really owe a lot of who I am as a person to the dairy community, and so I want to give back to them.
Very good. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Graham. Well, our next candidate is from Bertram, representing Todd County. She recently graduated from Ridgewater College with a degree in dairy management and is employed on her family farm. Now, she's a 4-H volunteer, a Ridgewater Agriculture Ambassador, serves on the Morrison County Fair Board, and was involved with Professional Agriculture Student Organization. Would you please welcome Megan Holloman? We've even got signs out for you tonight. This is great. All right, Megan, let's start. Just tell us a little bit about your family farm.
So I am the third generation on my family's dairy farm. I am currently transitioning into the dairy farm and taking it over with my dad and my grandpa. We raise 400 Holstein cows. We milk 3 times a day and raise all of our own crops. So.
Wow, that's great. That is great. Now, I see that you serve on the Morrison County Fair Board, and have you found that experience to be interesting?
It has been a whirlwind of emotions. I am one of the youngest Fair Board members in my county, so it has been very enjoyable, and it's been an experience.
I bet it has. Now, there's a lot of ways to promote the dairy industry. What is your favorite way?
My favorite way of promoting the dairy community is through Breakfast on the Farm. I think it shows how transparent the dairy community truly is, because each and every one of us just want to show our cows off in true reality.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Megan Holloman. Well, next up is a finalist representing Kandiyohi County and is from Kirkhoven. She'll be a junior this fall at the University of North Dakota, where she studies airport management. She enjoys being active with mission trips through her church, flying planes, spending time outdoors, reading, and playing piano. She works on the family farm, Rollo Dairy. The daughter of Rod and Naomi. Would you please welcome Carissa Linn. Now, Carissa, you've been spending some time the last few days with the other candidates, and have you made some new friends?
Oh, I tell you what, Rod, getting to know those other 11 girls has been such an amazing experience. All of them are such great dairy champions, and it has been amazing, and I've made some lovely lifelong friends.
You know, I noticed, too, you all got some pretty good dance moves, because before you came out here, you were having fun, it looked like. Now, in your opinion, what is the biggest challenge in promoting the dairy industry here in Minnesota?
Well, I think it stems from anything, but social media has an impact on anything that happens. And as us as dairy advocates, it can be a challenge to try to get our dairy story out there, but we are trying every day, and we love it so much.
Now, I see you like to fly planes, so how often do you fly, and how did this all start?
Well, I grew up on a farm, and every summer there'd be crop dusters just constantly flying around. So I fell in love with aviation just watching those. And I am currently going to get my private pilot's license, and I try to fly about once a week, and it is just an amazing thing. I love it so much.
All right, well, congratulations and good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, Carissa Linn. Our next candidate comes from Edgerton and represents Rock County. She studies dairy production at South Dakota State University, where she will be a sophomore this fall. She currently works on the family farm, Leoben Dairy, and hopes to one day own a hobby farm and be a dairy consultant. She enjoys being outdoors, where she can bike, run, and hike. Her parents are Cal and Shar. Please welcome Calissa Lubin. Hi, Calissa. Hey, tell me, what have the last few days been like going through the judging process with 11 other young ladies?
I have honestly have just an amazing experience with it all, and just getting to know the other 11 so much better over these past couple months since May, and getting to know the judges, it's truly been an amazing experience.
Sounds like it's been a fun time. Now, there are, as we said, different ways to promote our dairy industry. How about you? What is your favorite way to get the word out?
I'd say my favorite way is just interacting with others, and if you know me, I know that I love to talk to others, and just sharing my story with them, that is definitely one of my favorite parts.
All right, and tell us a little bit about the family farm that you grew up on.
I grew up on a family farm, southwest Minnesota, by a small town of Edgerton,
And growing up, my parents actually had a playpen in the front of the barn so they could keep an eye on me and my siblings while they took care of the cows.
So you've been to the barn since you were really young.
That is true.
All right, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, how about it for Calissa Lubin? Well, our next candidate is from Freeport, Minnesota, and represents Stearns County. She will be a sophomore this fall at South Dakota State University, where she studies dairy production and dairy manufacturing. Working on the family farm, Moose and Holsteins, she enjoys volunteering, swing dancing, showing cattle, and spending time with friends. The daughter of Daryl and Lisa, here is Ashley Mouse. Well, good evening, Ashley. I have to ask you, what are your thoughts about being in a cooler for a few hours being sculptured out of butter? What's going to happen to you?
You know, I think it's going to be a very cool experience. However, I don't think it's going to be super cold because this summer I actually had an internship in a cheese plant. So I spent many hours in a cooler.
Well, there you go. You're all prepared for this. Now, looking back, what do you think was the best part about growing up on a dairy farm?
I would have to say the best part about growing up on a dairy farm is spending time with my family. I've created many memories on the farm, and one of my favorites is actually milking cows with my dad. We will talk and have conversations. He'll share his stories about my siblings, and I'll share my stories about college. And if we have nothing to talk about, we enjoy dancing to the Oak Ridge Boys or other 80s music.
There you go, 80s music. I like it. You're studying dairy production and dairy manufacturing. So what do you plan to do after college?
I haven't entirely decided what I want to do after college, but I think it would be cool to return to my family farm and add a manufacturing plant on site. And with that, I'd open it up to tours to help continue to share my message with others in the dairy community.
I like that. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashley Mouse. From Wabasha County, our next candidate will be a junior this fall at the University of Wisconsin-River Falls, where she studies dairy science. After graduation, she plans to go back to the family farm. From Plainview, she enjoys gardening, hiking, reading, and raising bull calves with her sister during the summer. The daughter of Stacy and Julie. Here is Valenti Miller. Well, hi, Valenti. Now, I see one of your hobbies is reading, so I'm curious, what do you think the best book you've ever read is?
I haven't read a book that I don't like, but I do have a favorite place to read, and it's on our front porch because I get a beautiful view of our family farm.
That sounds good. That sounds very good. Now, it's been said that America's favorite flavor of ice cream is vanilla. How about you? What's your favorite and why?
I'm going to have to agree with America on this one because vanilla, you can add any toppings to it you want.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, now, I see you're studying dairy science, and how do you hope to use that in the future?
Well, I would love to end up back on my family's dairy farm, but wherever I end up in the dairy community, I know that I'll be welcomed with open arms because the dairy community is one of the most welcoming communities that I've ever been a part of.
You got that right. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, from Wabasha County, Valenti Miller. Well, our next candidate represents Maury County, and she studies dairy science at Iowa State University, where she'll be a sophomore this fall. And also, she works at Reed's Brown Swiss. She's got a passion for dancing and volunteers as a dance coach to youth and high school dance teams. She's active in her campus dairy science club as well as the Minnesota and National Brown Swiss Associations. From Rose Creek, her parents are Al and Lynette. Here is Julia Mullenbach. Hi, Julia. You know, it sounds to me like you really enjoy dance. What is it about dance that appeals to you so much?
Yeah, I've actually been in dance since I was 2 years old and continue to dance in college through taking elective classes. So I just love making relationships and friendships and memories with those that are in dance and staying active.
All right. Now, you work at Reed's Brown Swiss, so tell us a little bit about that operation.
My main chore and job on the farm is actually taking care of calves. I love getting to make connections with the calves and continuing to develop these connections when the cows are big, and I just love it.
That's great. Now, you attend Iowa State University, and what was it about Iowa State that really appealed to you?
I absolutely love the green grass at Iowa State and the central campus. It reminded me of my home and on the farm with all the grass on the farm.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, Julia Mullenbach. And next up is our representative from Browerville and Todd County. She's an employee at Thunder Valley Farms. She'll be a junior this fall at South Dakota State University, where she studies agricultural education. Now, after graduation, she plans to become an agricultural educator. She enjoys graphic design, public speaking, raising beef cattle, and road trips. Please welcome Rebecca Paskiewicz. Rebecca, most people just hate speaking in public, but you say you enjoy it. What is it about public speaking that appeals to you?
I think it goes back to my love for people. Every day I try to converse in conversations that I didn't have previously, and I think public speaking is a unique way to learn about people, and there's a thrill to it about that versus conversation that you don't have every day.
All right. Now, you say you enjoy road trips, so I want to know, what is one of your favorite road trips?
I'd have to go back to my 18th birthday when 9 friends and I thought it would be a great idea to try adulting on our own. We headed down to Mankato to go to one of my favorite country music singers' concerts. We rented a hotel room and 2 cars all the way down and lots of candy. We just had a fun and wild time.
It sounds like it. Sounds like a great road trip. Now, you will have your head carved out of butter, and so I'm a little curious, what are you going to do with 90 pounds of butter when you get it home?
I would love to have a family portrait of my 2 cousins and I as butter sculptures at the end of this process, but then also have a mac and cheese feed for my community and all of Minnesota that goes to benefit egg literacy in our communities.
That is a great idea. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, Rebecca Paskiewicz. And now let's meet our representative from Olmsted County. From Plainview, she attends the University of Minnesota, where she will be a sophomore this fall studying agricultural communication and marketing. She's active in Minnesota Junior Holstein Association and the Gopher Dairy Club. She enjoys showing dairy cattle and spending time with friends. The daughter of Donnie and Holly. Please welcome Catherine Thompson. Hi, Katie. I'm curious. You know, have these past few days of judging, has it been stressful or has it been fun or what it's been like?
Oh, of course, there was a little bit of stress involved with the big job that one of us has ahead of us, but it has just been a joy to get to know the other 11 finalists.
All right. Now, tell us a little bit about your family farm called Little Valley Dairy.
That's right. I grew up as a 7th generation on my family's farm, Little Valley Dairy. My main job on the farm is working with my sister to care for the calves and milking the cows alongside the rest of my family members.
Do you feel it was an advantage to you growing up on a farm?
Oh, for sure. There's so many memories and life lessons that no one else could have in a different environment. Growing up on the farm is just the perfect place to be raised.
I agree. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Catherine Thompson. Well, we want to say thank you to all of our finalists tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you we had some very special young ladies here. What do you think? What do you think of our candidates? Let's hear it. Come on, Minnesota. Make some noise for this year's finalists vying for Princess K of the Milky Way. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bring all our beautiful young ladies back to the stage. So come on back, our 12 finalists for Princess K of the Milky Way. Come back on stage. Well, at this time, I'd like to introduce to you the chairperson of Midwest Dairy Association Minnesota Division Board, a dairy producer from Dundas. Please welcome Barb Liebenstein. Barb, come on up.
Thank you, Rod. What a great night to celebrate all things dairy. I am here maybe to slow the show down a little bit, but most of all to thank you all on behalf of the 3,000 dairy farm families of Minnesota. Thank you for your commitment to telling the dairy story you all know so well. A story that is so unique to you, one so few people know, that has gone from being ordinary to extraordinary. For the first time ever, more money is being spent on food than clothing, not because food is so expensive, but because people are being drawn to the unique experience associated with food. With so many choices available, it is now more critical than ever that the great values of all things dairy are put into the spotlight. Whether it is how we take care of our cows, the great nutritional pack of dairy, or all the great things we can make from milk, people are hungry to know more. And all of you sitting nervously on the stage, waiting for me to be quiet so we can get on with the reason we are here tonight, we'll take the opportunities to put dairy out there in a unique experience. If I could offer one piece of advice, it would be to listen to hear and not listen to respond. There are a lot of people out there who just aren't sure about what they're putting into their diets is a good thing. There are far more of those kinds of people than there are animal activists waiting to shut down animal egg production. Be kind and listening, and help them understand the goodness of dairy. And finally, I would be remiss not to add one more quick thank you. Emily, you have been an exceptional Princess K. Every year, the Princess K has big shoes to fill, and you have done it very well. Thank you so much for all your school visits, farm visits, and dairy experiences. And with that, again, a very big thank you to all of you for taking the time out of your very busy lives to help bring dairy to unexpected places and to help people get a very dairy experience with every question and every bite.
Thank you. Thank you, Barb. Appreciate that. Well, Emily, your reign as the 64th Princess K of the Milky Way is almost complete. Now, I know you've had a very memorable year representing the Minnesota dairy industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, for one last time, I would like to introduce to you your Princess K of the Milky Way, Emily Annexted.
The first 30 seconds have been amazing. When asked the question how it felt to be Princess K immediately after being crowned, that was my response. And yes, those first 30 seconds were awesome. But the past year has been even more amazing. In the past 12 months, I have traveled over 6,000 miles, attended 80 appearances, visited almost 30 counties, and talked to over 1,500 school children. All of the classroom visits, media interviews, presentations, banquets, county fairs, breakfasts on the farms, and other events have added up to one incredible year. No two events have been the same, but at each event, I have had the honor of representing Minnesota's dairy community. At the beginning of my reign last year, I said that Minnesota's dairy farmers are the hardest working group of people I know, and that's still true. But over the past year, I have come to realize that Minnesota's dairy farmers are so much more than just hardworking. They are also resilient, compassionate, determined, intelligent, welcoming, and genuine. I have seen firsthand the way dairy farmers value their families, animals, and land. All of these things take a lot of hard work, but they also take heart. It takes heart to wake up at 3:30 every morning to milk cows, yes, even on weekends and holidays. It takes heart to take time out of their busy days to give a tour to an excited group of kindergartners. It takes heart to plant and harvest crops in the same fields that your great-grandfather planted and harvested in a century ago. It takes heart to get out of bed in the middle of the night to check on that cow that's due to calve. And it takes heart to work outside through Minnesota's blizzards or sweltering heat. Minnesota's dairy farmers put this same heart into their communities as they do into their farms. And that's what makes our dairy community so strong, even during challenging times. Thank you, Minnesota's dairy farmers, for the hard work that you put into your communities and your farms each and every day. The pride and integrity you have for your farms is truly respectable, and it has inspired me, not only during my time as Princess K, but in other aspects of my life as well. Tomorrow marks the start of my favorite 12 days of the year. The Minnesota State Fair will always be special to me because of time spent wandering the streets with my family or doing chores in the cattle barn with some of my very best friends. Now, it means even more to me. Serving as Princess K has made me realize how much people value our tradition, dairy farmers and fairgoers alike. The thousands of people who flock to the dairy building, cattle barn, or moo booth give us countless opportunities to engage with them and share our dairy story. To the 12 young ladies sitting up here on stage beside me, this speech probably feels like it's gone on forever. But I want you to take a moment right now and look around and take this moment in. Trust me when I say that it's one you'll want to remember. One of you will wear the crown for the next year, but all of you have a unique voice and unique dairy experiences to share. I have learned something from each of the ladies that I was a finalist with, and I've learned something from each of you. During the fair and throughout the year, the other finalists were some of my very biggest cheerleaders and supporters. Never take for granted how amazing it is to have 11 other young ladies and an audience full of people who love the dairy community as much as you do. I am humbled and grateful to have been given the chance to represent Minnesota's dairy community. It has been a privilege, and an honor to serve as the 64th Princess K of the Milky Way. Although I will no longer be the current Princess K after tonight, I will always share my love for Minnesota's dairy community. This past year has been incredible, from the very first 30 seconds to the very last. Thank you for everything.
Emily Annexted, Princess K, 64. Thanks again, Emily. Great job this past year. Well, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Now, all 12 of our candidates were eligible to apply for one of 3 $500 scholarships from the Midwest Dairy Association. So a panel of judges reviewed the applications earlier this month, basing their criteria on academic excellence, leadership qualities, participation in dairy activities, and future goals. So I have an envelope with the winners of our scholarship. So as I read your name, would you please step forward? These are the winners of our 3 $500 scholarships. And they go to Ashley Mouse, Julia Mullenbach, and Catherine Getkey, your scholarship winners, $500 each. Congratulations. All right, now we're getting even closer. Right now, it's time to find out who will receive our Miss Congeniality Award, voted on by all 12 candidates. Now, Emily, I've got an envelope here. I'm going to let you do the honors of opening the envelope. And we will present Miss Congeniality. Again, everybody voted on this. There we go. We'll get that envelope open and see who Miss Congeniality is going to be. All right. And Miss Congeniality, the award goes to Carissa Linn, representing Candy, Ojai County. And on behalf of the Midwest Dairy Association, as Emily just presented a nice gift for you, congratulations, Carissa. Well, the time has come. I have another envelope here, yes. And in this envelope are the names of our 3 finalists. Now, remember, when I read the names of the 3 finalists, they are in no particular order. As I read the names of the 3 finalists, I would ask that you please proceed to center stage. All right, let's open the envelope. I'll let you do the honors. You did so good last time. All right. Here we go. Our 3 finalists for the 65th Princess K of the Milky Way are Carissa Lindquist, another finalist, Blaze Dankers. One more to go. Another finalist, Rebecca Paskey. There they are, your 3 finalists. Oh, we're having fun now. And now we've come to the time to find out who the 65th Princess K of the Milky Way is. So let's open the envelope, Emily. And then I'm going to let you take the crown and place it on our new Princess K. So don't forget the name. There you go. All right. One of these 3 is going to be the 65th Princess K of the Milky Way. All right, let's see who it's going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Princess K of the Milky Way, Rebecca Passkey. She represents Todd County. Rebecca's parents are Alan and Vicky of Browerville. Let's hear it for Rebecca Paskiewicz, the 65th Princess K of the Milky Way. Rebecca, how does it feel? You're the new Princess K.
Words cannot describe this right now.
What do you got to say to all the dairy producers, all the people here?
I'm blessed. I come from a unique opportunity, and I just feel so blessed to have all of these people and a place to call home in dairy.
You got a busy day tomorrow and a busy year ahead of you. Are you all ready for this?
I am.
She's ready. How about it for our 65th Princess K of the Milky Way, Rebecca Paskiewicz. Congratulations again. Enjoy this moment. It's one you will never forget. Congratulations. Again, our 65th Princess K of the Milky Way, Rebecca Paskiewicz. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it has truly been a night to remember. Congratulations to all of our candidates. You did a fantastic job. I want to remind all of our candidates to please stay on stage for some group photos. And I would also like to invite the parents of